And finally tonight, the NFL announced a tough stance today against Cleveland Browns player Josh Gordon. Brandon Robinson is a sports writer at The Source magazine and joins us here in the studio with that story and more. Hey, Brandon, it's good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Okay, so remind everybody what Josh Gordon did wrong.
He violated the NFL substance abuse policy, was tested positive for marijuana use, second offense in the NFL. And it's an unfortunate situation. The NFL today banned him for a whole year. And
what do you think of this decision? Does this feel right to you? I'm tempering how I'm going to ask this,
sure.
But what's your reaction to it?
I mean, listen, this is what you signed up for. You play in the NFL, a privilege. People want to play in the NFL and want your job. It's not the first time that he's got caught up. And, you know, the thing about it is he blamed it on secondhand smoke. Hanging with some friends. Listen, when you average almost 1,700 reception yards in a season and 9 touchdowns, you need to watch the company that you keep. So unfortunately for him, he's got to sit out the whole season. Yeah,
and it would appear that he has a history when it comes to substance abuse. We won't spend too much time talking about that, but how does this affect the team?
Well, Cleveland is a hopping city right now, obviously, with the Cavaliers on the side of basketball, bringing LeBron James and Kevin Love. Cleveland's a hopping city. They have Johnny Manziel as their second-string quarterback. He brings a lot of attitude and excitement and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's exciting to see a guy of his caliber catch balls and do work, but he won't be playing this season for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, it really is a loss. He put up all-star, numbers in the last season, so that's a shame. Let's move. Let's turn and talk about tennis. That's what everybody's talking about here in New York City. The U.S. Open is coming up, and there is a young girl who has kind of set this sport on fire by the name of Catherine Bellis. Can you tell us about her?
CC Bellis, 15 years old, the youngest woman in the tournament. She actually has beaten Maria Sharapova as well as Dominika Kubicata, and I think for tennis fans, the big thing right now is all these rising stars. She's 15, and then you have Taylor Townsend, 18 years old, who actually lost last night to Serena Williams, but new crop of women and men coming in, and it's exciting to see her be among those people competing.
Yeah, well, can you sort of evaluate the state of men's tennis versus women's tennis right now?
I think women's tennis is very much women-dominated, or rather American-dominated, excuse me, where you have Serena Williams. She's the veteran. She's been doing the U.S. Open for 15 years, and you have the usual suspects with Sharapova. It's expected that they'll play against each other. Men, you have Nadal and you have Federer. Nadal actually will not be playing in the tournament. He withdrew. But you have a lot of usual names, and I think Federer, he's not expected to win this year. He's not favorited, but I think he has a lot to prove this year. But you know, the usual suspects are usually in the men and women tennis realm. So.
Yeah. Speaking of the usual suspects, you know, there's a lot of speculation of how much gas do either of the Williams sisters still have. You know, I hate to say this because they're in their 30s, but you know they're getting older. They're in their 30s. You know, how I know Serena wants to do one more. Well, she wants to do more than one more championship, but Venus wants to get at least one more U.S. Open championship. It's been 13 years. Do you think they have it in them?
Forever is a long time. I think you know when they were younger, Monica Seles and Andre Agassi were the people who were really the hot stuff back then. It's crazy to think 13 to 15 years ago that later they're talking about the end. I think they can still do it. I would never make a statement that they're done, but they're getting older. They're closer to the end than the beginning or the middle.
Usual suspects to win the championships at the U.S. Open, or some new young?
I think Serena will pull it out this year. She has a lot to prove. She struggled a lot this year, so if she's able to get this win, all will be good. She struggled with some illnesses, her ankle and her joints and stuff like that. So hopefully she can pull it off this year.
She's dealing with a lot of injuries for a long time in that regard. As I understand it, you have something to tell us about Basketball World Cup.
Oh yes.
Say what?
Say who? Yes, you thought basketball was over after the NBA Finals and the LeBron James controversy. Now, FIBA has their FIBA World Championship. It's formerly known as the FIBA World Championship. Now it's called the FIBA World Cup. And the USA basketball is favored to win, coached by Duke coach Coach K. And you have Derrick Rose, Kyrie Irving. But they're competing in Spain. And the teams that win, or the team that wins the World Cup there qualifies for the Olympics in Rio in 2016. So USA is the favorite, but Spain is up there with the Gasol brothers, Marc Gasol of Memphis and of the Memphis Grizzlies, as well as Pau Gasol of the Chicago Bulls. So it'll be an extended play of basketball after the finals and everything is over. So it'll be exciting to see.
Yeah, that will be exciting. Something maybe that'll catch on. Eh?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Brandon, it's good to see you.
Always good to see you.
Thanks for stepping in. We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Arise America. We'll be back for another one on tomorrow. Have a great day. I'm Debbie Turner-Bell. Bye-bye.